Hello friends and adventurers, welcome back to the ending of Diccuric. Seriously, we don't have much left to do. I've checked the map, I've checked the NPCs, and there aren't any other quests. This quest is pretty much on hold, it's not finished. The other NPCs don't have anything left for us. There's only this guy, Taliesin, to which we simply give him some amulets. The amulets we've picked up so far. Where is he? Should be here. And we simply enter in dialogue with him. Let me lower the volume a bit. So once we finish the dialogue with him, he's basically going to teach us a couple of levels in magic. And that's about it. No other NPCs, from what I have noticed, have anything else to say. So as you can see, the plot is largely unfinished. We simply, teach me the 2 circles of magic. And yeah, that's about it. We learned the 2nd and 3rd circle. We can also tell him that I know why Hammond insulted you. And yes, 2 magical amulets, blah blah blah. We're not interested in all of that. And that's about it. There is nobody else at camp that is willing to... Oh, that was a huge jump. That's willing to talk to us. So, I honestly hope that somebody's gonna finish this mod at one point, sooner or later. But we can get a sense of closure very soon. And the sense that we're gonna do just one final itty bitty thingy, a couple of itty bitty thingies before we end the mod. And one of them is that we'll visit, whatchamacallit. We'll visit a huge ass temple that we found. And apparently you can actually enter the temple after we get the amulet, the barrier protection amulet. That prevents us from being one-shot by barriers, essentially. So we're just gonna go head on this way. The guy who knows our father doesn't have any further dialogue for us, so that's a shame. Nobody else, as far as I know, has any further dialogue for us. We are gonna check out just a couple of places for the fun of it. But other than that, this is pretty much the end. This is pretty much the end of Diccuric. So let's quickly do a plot analysis. So what do we have? We have a story of revenge. We have a mystical order of mages trapped for centuries. Many of them have gone insane. We have a mysterious figure that claims to have been friends with our father. We have a camp of soldiers somewhere in the middle of the map. None of them actually have any meaningful dialogue for us, but they're ex-soldiers of the king. They were border patrol guards, more or less. This guy doesn't have anything else for us. Now this cool temple up here, we can actually enter it. Turn on the locator. As you can see, we can actually pass through the barrier now. And up here we basically get plate armor. No. Up here there's basically a puzzle. Where is it? There's a button over here. And once we press this button, a door should technically open. I think we need to press another button on the side. Okay. And now technically a door has opened that leads upstairs. And upstairs we find a bunch of goodies, mostly potions, stuff like that. Nothing too crazy, basically. The most interesting loot up here is this permanent potion. And we're taking damage because we are very close to the damaging barrier, by the way. And this rounded staircase leads to a very interesting piece of loot. Namely, this one up here. And this is very cool, by the way. This looks to be an observatory where you can watch the skies. But it was clearly unfinished. So we get the ancient iron armor, which is the equivalent of the ore armor in Gothic 1. And that's about it. That's the mystery of this place, in case you're curious. Obviously unfinished. I never had time to finish it. Let's go to the swamp. Let's see if the lady has anything for us. So Lady Sienna doesn't have anything else for us. That's a shame. So yeah, this is pretty much the mod. We have the framework, the skeleton of a potentially good and interesting story. It needs a lot more polish. It needs a couple of more factions. It needs a bit more intrigue. But the potential is there. That's the crying shame of this mod. It was never unfinished. But if you want to play this mod, feel free to play it for, sake of history, the sake of knowing where the Gothic community began, like before we had Archolos, before we had a bunch of cool mods. We had this place. We have this game. And there is Berengar. And the last satisfying thing we can do is avenge our father. So, in the name of my father, I cast you down. The kingdom of Geisha can now breathe a sigh of relief. Thus ended the story of Berengar. And nobody has actually any dialogue, as far as I know, for us killing Berengar. Because I assume the developers never had time to account for that possibility. So that's about it. The mages upstairs don't have anything else for us. Alvin, I think Alvin is simply gone from the map. So that's about it. All we have left to do is to go back to Gravern and the game, and then chat about what other game you should be playing. So right now I'm oscillating. I really want to do, I'm dreaming of doing an Arx Fatalis playthrough. It's one of my favorite RPGs. But I also kind of want to play another Gothic mod while I'm trying to finish up the Archolos review. I think that's the longest review. It's going to take me a while. Because other reviews are going to be shorter for mods, like the Liver mod, it's going to have a pretty short review. So New Balance as well, like Diccuric as well. And the reviews basically are scaled to the length of the mod itself, the story itself. And yeah. So, Gravern. Hello, Gravern. Yeah. So, I'm actually kind of curious. Can I... can I kill all of these guys? Actually, can I summon... Let's have fun. Can I summon a bunch of... What can we summon? How many skeletons? I'm actually super curious. How many skeletons can we potentially summon? So it summons 3 skeletons, and do we get experience from killing them? The answer is yes, so you can have an infinite number of skeletons summoned, and it's kind of a cheat code in itself. You summon skeletons for mana, and you kill them. What do we have? A Dark Army, which is just more skeletons. We can summon harpies, that's interesting. One of the worst enemies in the games. The harpy. Oh, 3 harpies actually. Oh, that's interesting. They're actually gonna fight the mercenaries. They're obviously gonna die, but that's interesting. It's interesting that they fight them. What else can we summon? We can summon a stack. What the hell is a stack? I have no idea. We're gonna find out. Let's drink some potions. So what is a stack? Let's check out the spells at least in Diccuric before we end this mod. Yeah. Ah, so it's a bunch of it's a bunch of snappers. Okay, fair enough. So that's the stack. Terror of enemies, that's just gonna put fear into them. Storm, I assume, is... yeah, it's Fist of Wind. Summon demons, summon golems, we know all about those. Transformation into a glory hole. If you're curious what, what this spell does exactly, because I teased people with it last time. I teased people with the glory hole. Yeah, transform into a snapper. You transform into the lizard part of our brains. That's what the glory hole does exactly. And that's about it. Rune of the Spirit. What is this rune? This basically controls enemies. Interesting. So if I want to control this mercenary, for example, do I have enough mana to do it? Oops. Sorry about that. Oh, they're actually attacking me. Huh. Kind of want to control just one of them. Okay. Can I gain control of this guy? And if yes, how much mana am I gonna spend to do it? Nothing seems to be happening. Oh. Oh, it actually worked.
Перестань колдовать. Мой тебе совет. Перестань колдовать.
Okay, and do I simply end it's actually doing quite a lot of damage. Quite a lot of damage. Interesting. But I'm actually curious if I can take control of one of them. Like this guy. Because the spell keeps draining mana, so it doesn't actually seem to have a stop moment. So do I simply end it? Okay, so it doesn't actually seem... I don't think the rune itself works, unfortunately. Maybe the spell scroll works? Terror of enemies, storm, or do we not have the spell scroll? Well, we have the firestorm spell scroll. Telekinesis, pyrokinesis. This is actually one of my favorite spells, by the way, in the game, pyrokinesis. But it's also incredibly overpowered. Like, you can stun lock an enemy, like, look at what it does. It basically stuns lock an enemy and kills him. And let's just pop a firestorm. I'm actually curious, is there anybody that can teach us the crossbow skill? I actually wanted to do fire rain, not fire whatever, but doesn't really matter. Okay, give me 1 second, just so I have some personal mechanical closure. So yeah, that's Diccuric. Nothing else to do left on the map, unfortunately. All that's left to do is simply to talk to Gravern. Also interesting, land. Yeah, shut up. My father is avenged, and that's all I need to know. So that's the satisfying conclusion to the Diccuric you can have for the moment. Maybe someday the original mothers will finish it, or do Diccuric #2, or somebody else. Who knows? In the meantime, I'm oscillating between playing Ars Fatalis or Lobos. Probably gonna start with Lobos while I try to finish the Archolos review. And yeah, that's about it. So, hope you had fun, guys. If you haven't played this mod, you can play it for the sake of history, to know where everything started, where all the beautiful Gothic mods we have right now, where everything began. And back in the early 2000s, we were all hungry for Gothic content, and I still am. 20 years later, I still am. Let's hope the Gothic remake will not let us down. Until then, there's plenty of mods to play, plenty of Gothic to go around for everybody. So, thank you guys. I'm gonna see you next time in Lobos. And I hope you have a lovely day. And as always, the most important story in the world is our own. Cheers, guys and gals, and take care of yourselves. Oh, and I almost forgot. Let's end the game. And these are the credits, by the way. Yeah, let's pay proper respects to the creators. The game might be unfinished. This might be Russian, and I don't know anything about Russian, but I'm assuming it says creative director, programming, modeling, and stuff like that. So these are basically the team members. Yeah. Gotta say though, it was pretty fun that there were so many mistranslations. I'm assuming there were translation errors done by Google Translate or some other AI translation tool that nobody checked afterwards. But transforming into a snapper to transforming to a glory hole, that's some next level stuff. Okay. See you guys next time. Thank you.